What's going on, everybody? Hope all of you guys are doing well. So, today I'm going to be talking about a hidden gem of a movie, a forgotten gem, as I like to call it. And I figured I'd do this video before the weather where I'm at here in Florida gets pretty bad. So, if you hear any like thunder, I don't know if it'll get picked up on the camera, but if you hear it, yeah, it's gonna get bad. So, I figured I would try to do this quickly. So, in 2002, 2003, we got a film, an action film that came out, and it did not do too well. Once it got, a home video release, it's still a lot of people did not like this movie. But for me, after viewing this movie numerous times, I've grown to absolutely love this movie. Is what I'm trying to say. The cast, I think, is great. The characters, I think, are unique. And I feel like this movie could have worked as a potential movie franchise. And there was rumors about a reboot and a TV series, but they never came into full circle. And I feel like if they were going to do the Dark Universe, this movie, I feel like, would have been the best film to remake and be the opening foot that we need for the Dark Universe rather than getting the unsuccessful Mummy movie. And that is none other than the League of an Extraordinary Gentleman. Now, this would be, I believe, Sean Connery's last movie. He would go on to retire, live his life up until his passing. And the cast on this, I think, is great. You don't just have Sean Connery. You have Shane West. You have Jason Fleming. You have Peter Wilson. And there's a few other recognizable faces, and it's basically a group of characters we've seen in books. Dorian Gray, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Dracula's Bride, I believe, is the character here. So you have all these unique characters from all these unique stories, and they come together. Sean Connery is basically hired to take out this villain. And we do kind of get a nice twist more towards the end of the film, and at the time of its release, it did not do too well. It was really poor when it came to the reviews, and even after it hit home video, still people hated it. But for me, I feel like this movie deserves a second chance. I feel like it was ahead of its time. Um, and I feel like, a lot of movies came out in 2003. So I feel like at that time, it didn't really get the proper, I would say, release. When is it 2003? Yes. So, yeah, for me personally, I feel like this movie is better than maybe a lot of people would expect it to be, especially if you end up revisiting the film. Now, I feel like the film deserves a re-release, maybe a 4K release. Maybe the CGI maybe they need to go back and redo the CGI a little bit, because yeah, the CGI is a little awful when it comes to the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. But and then you got the Invisible Man. But I just feel like this film doesn't deserve the hate that it gets, and it's a film, unfortunately, we don't talk about anymore. It feels like it is one of those forgotten gems, especially considering it is the last movie Sean Connery would do. Sean Connery has such an amazing filmography. If you don't look at just his James Bond movies, you've got The Rock. He works alongside Nicolas Cage. You have this. Um, you have Highlander. I mean, the list just goes on and on. The Avengers with Uma Thurman, which was a movie adaptation from the '60s series. So, I just feel like, in my personal opinion, I just feel like this film doesn't get enough credit. And I just kind of wanted to give my opinion and talk about it. I will eventually be revisiting the film soon and doing a review for you guys. But I just kind of wanted to just put out my initial thoughts on what I truly thought of the film, and maybe inspire people to revisit the film a little bit. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on the League of an Extraordinary Gentleman. I know there was rumors about us getting a remake or a reboot to the film, and then there was talks about a TV series happening, and they never came into full circle. And it's unfortunate because I feel like this movie I feel like if it would have had done better, yes, I feel like we would have gotten a sequel with some of the remaining characters, and I feel like we could have incorporated more of those icons from these books. Maybe bring in Dracula, and just the whole concept of this with all these unique characters like Dorian Gray, Dracula's Bride, The Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I feel like this, if we were to reboot this movie, this could be the opening we would need for the Dark Universe. I feel like that would truly work. I mean, you could even use characters like Dorian Gray to be one of the villains for one of the Universal monsters, and you know, have a lot of these characters kind of coexist in one another. So yeah, I just wanted to just do a quick little video for you guys and just kind of give my initial thoughts on it. And I do plan to have a review soon once I put this movie in and revisit. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on The League of an Extraordinary Gentleman. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Um, whether it's gonna suck. But with that being said, I'm Film Talk with Mikey, and until next time, guys, we'll talk films. Peace.